Hold up. If you wanna go and take a ride with me, better hit me, baby, one more time.
More variety than you can imagine. Relax Radio.
The Chat Trap. A very good morning to you and welcome to the show. How is everybody doing? It is a beautiful Monday, and I just want to say good morning, good morning, good morning to every single one of you that is tuned in so far. It's definitely such a pleasure to have you on board with us. Thank you so much for being a part of the show so far. We've had such amazing conversation. I know we're just tuning in on the Chat Trap. If you're just tuning in on the Chat Trap, if you're just tuning in on Relax Radio, and if you're new to this platform, well, we talk about all things interesting. We talk about a lot of interesting things, and we just want you to be a part of the show, okay? We want you to tune in. We want you to let us know what's going on because, like I always say, for us, there's absolutely nothing more important. There's absolutely nothing more, valuable than you. And see, the reason why we created this platform, the reason why we created Relax Radio in the first place is so that you get an opportunity to speak up. It's because we wanted you to, make your voice be heard, and we are giving you the chance to speak up. We are giving you the chance to share your thoughts and opinions, so go right ahead. I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things for the next 15 minutes or so, and I definitely want to know what you are thinking. I want to know what's going on in your head. Do you agree with what I'm talking about? Do you not agree? It's completely fine. Go ahead and let me know. The number to call me is 07852 or you could simply leave a comment down below. Okay, we have this is happening live, so I can reply and react to your messages live. So go right ahead and leave a comment down below. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up button as well, so that I know that you like what we're talking about. And even if you don't like what we're talking about, that's completely fine as well. All you gotta do is let me know what you would like me to talk about. What topics would you like me to discuss? What kind of subjects would you want me to touch on? Go ahead and let me know. Just before we get on into the conversation, one last thing that I do want to remind you is to download our app. Okay, it's available absolutely free of charge on iOS and Android. So all you gotta do is head on over to Play Store or App Store and download our app. And even though we call ourselves a radio, you don't really need a frequency to listen to us. All you gotta do is either have our app or head on over to our website, or download our app and listen to us. I want to say hello to everybody listening in. Good morning to you. Where are you listening in from? Are you listening in from London, or are you listening in from around the world? Because I do have quite a lot of people listening in from around the world. We have Patrick that says hi. Hello, Patrick. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We have Ahmed. I hope I'm saying your name right. Ahmed says nice also. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, Ahmed. I hope I'm saying your name right. And wherever you're from, I just want to say, hope you are having yourself an amazing day. With that being said, let's head on over to the conversation. And I'm so excited to talk to you about this. And that's with regards to the fact that in England, at least, or at least in in some parts of the world, a lot of the COVID restrictions are being lifted, right? A lot of the COVID restrictions are no longer in place. In England, for example, on the 19th of July, we had all of our restrictions on social contact or whatnot being lifted. Now, we did talk about this quite a lot on Friday, but what I do want to talk to you about, and I promised you I was going to talk to you about this, it was with regards to, the whole situation that was happening with summer festivals. Now, I've told you this before, and I've told you how excited I am, or how in love I am with the concept of festivals, music festivals, summer festivals, or whatnot. And I was super excited for one that in England, at least, we did have a lot of summer festivals that took place this past weekend, right? These past few days, we've had a lot of summer festivals take place, and I did want to talk to you about a few of these summer festivals. And one of that was a Tramlines music festival. So that did happen. And oh my goodness, I was just talking about it, and I just watched a couple interviews of people that attended the Tramlines music festival. It happened, it happened in Sheffield this weekend, and there were tens and thousands of people, and it was so unreal to see so many people gathered in the same place. But I did watch quite a lot of interviews of these people that had attended the Tramlines music festival that happened in Sheffield. And one thing that I realized was that people just desperately needed to get out there. People desperately wanted to, have a good time, and they finally got the opportunity to do so in Sheffield with the Tramlines Music Festival, because it definitely was a success. Because people said they had such an amazing life, and people said they needed to live their life, and this festival actually gave a lot of people hope. Now, the lineup was amazing as well. But with regards to the Tramlines Music Festival that happened this weekend, there were about 40,000 people that attended this 3-day festival. And apparently, according to the organizers, the tickets sold out way before the actual event, which goes to show yet again how excited people are to get back into the scene, how excited people are to just have a good time and listen to some good music and enjoy with friends. So that's what happened with regards to the Tramlines Music Festival. We also did have another huge music festival happen, and if you are into this whole social scene, then you obviously have heard of the Latitude Festival. And the Latitude Festival basically is this huge yearly annual thing that happens, a music festival that happens. But because of COVID, last year in 2021, actually it did get cancelled. But this year it just did take place the past weekend. COVID didn't stop the Latitude Festival this year, and it opened on the 23rd of July, which is Friday, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this took place in Henham Park near Southwold, Suffolk, and it went on with about 40,000 attendees as well. That again is a government pilot program, which means that the government did this in order to see if everything's going to go back to normal, and in order to conduct research or whatnot. But in my opinion, it is successful, because I don't know if you knew this, y'all, but apparently COVID in the UK or in England is drastically reducing, because coronavirus infections continue to fall in the UK, which for me is good news. Right now, we spoke about this already, and I told you post 19th of July, where all the lockdown restrictions were lifted, where restrictions on social contact were lifted, on all of that were lifted, right? And I think the biggest concern that a lot of you had, and the biggest concern that I had myself, is that, oh my goodness, the situation is going to get so much worse. Everything's going to get worse because people aren't legally required to wear a mask anymore, whatnot, right? But at the end of the day, according to the records in England, this is not the case, okay? Because apparently the cases have actually reduced from 48,000 that was earlier to the 18th of July to about 29,000 this Sunday. So we only had about 29,000 odd cases on Sunday rather, which is a drastic reduce or a decrease as opposed to a few days back. So I guess even with regards to the fact that these legal restrictions were removed, it hasn't really worsened the situation. Again, that's my opinion, but I definitely want to know what you're thinking. I definitely want to know what your stance is. Go ahead, call me up and let me know. The numbers to do so is 07852 473 473. We're going to head on over to a little break now. When we come back, though, we do have a lot more interesting things to talk about, so make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I saving or investing for? Why am I doing it? When will I need the money? And how much money do I need? Yeah. So that's quite important, because when you're looking at your net worth, you got to start with saying, well, what do I want my net worth to be? So that there's a goal, and then work backwards. How do I get there? And if I can start with £50 or $50 a week, if I save that every week, and you can go online and use calculators online. I don't have to teach you the maths behind it, but you can say, okay, and if I get a 3% return and I put this away for how long will it take to reach my goal? And that's called just this basic cash flow projection calculations. And it's what we use in financial planning all the time. What we say to clients is we say, okay, what is your goal? What is your objective? Where do you want to go to? And we discuss that in a lot of detail and over most of the meeting. And then the rest of it is saying, okay, in your exact circumstances, with your risk profile, with how you feel about investments and pensions and taxes and where you are and who you work with, and your education level or your lack of education or how involved you want to be. There's a lot of variables that we take into account, and then we say, okay, here's a plan. You start like this, that's great. And then we review it all the time. And we say, okay, we need to increase it, we're on track, we're not, this is what is happening. Because remember, when you're dealing with assets, the valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's a struggle. Yeah. So there are strategies everywhere from £50 a week up to £100 million, and they're different. Right? They range differently from everyone, but and from country to country, to be fair. Different countries have different tax laws, so different vehicles. But from your point of view, at the sort of normal end, I'm not going to call it the low end because I'm in that boat as well. It's as tax efficient as you can get it. That's where you start. You use all the tax efficiencies, and then you step up into different things.
Come and listen on
Don't be afraid to catch feels.
Relax Radio.
The Chat Trap.
A very good morning to you and welcome back to the show. How is everybody doing? How is your Monday going so far? I hope you are having an amazing day because we've had such amazing conversations so far. And if you're new here, well, then this is Relax Radio. This is the Chat Up on Relax Radio. I am Jamie and I'm going to be with you. I'm going to be back actually in a couple minutes talking to you about all the things that are trending in the entertainment world, in the sports world, and all things interesting. So make sure that you be a part of the conversation because we absolutely value your thoughts and your opinions. We value what you have to say. So go ahead and be a part of the show by calling me on 07852 473 473 or by leaving a comment down below. I do have a lot of things that I do want to share with you. And I definitely want to know your take on things. I definitely want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what your perspective is. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? It's perfectly fine. I want to know where you stand. So go ahead and share your opinions with us by calling us on 07852 473 473. You could always just WhatsApp us if that makes it easier for you, whatever it is. If it's easier for you to connect with us on our social media, we are there on everything, okay? Be it Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, whatever it is, all you gotta do is go search up Relax Radio, Relax spelled with a K, and we are there for you 24/7, 365. Now, with that being said, earlier on, we were talking about summer music festivals. We were talking about how there's a lot of interesting things happening because it almost feels like life is going back to normal, at least in England. I know this is not the case in a lot of other countries and a lot of other developing, poverty-stricken countries. This is not the case because a lot of people are still struggling with COVID-19. And on top of that, I do know that there's a lot of floods that is happening, especially in countries like India and a lot of other Asian countries. So I just hope everything's going to get better. But if you live in London, you know that it almost feels like it almost feels like what life was pre-COVID because all of the restrictions were lifted on the 19th of July, and we've spoken about this endlessly. But I guess what I want to tell everybody is that at the end of the day, what's most important is that you be safe. And yes, we don't really have any legal restrictions anymore, but one thing that we need to remember, or one thing that we need to do, is to understand that, it could get worse and that you need to be safe at all times. And that's just what I want to remind you. Now, with that being said, going back into the interesting conversation, I don't know if, I mean, this is something everybody is aware of, but if you didn't know, well, then the Olympics are happening right now. This is the 2020 Olympics that's happening in Tokyo. And I have some good news to share with you because Tom Daly and Matthew Lee did win gold in men's synchronized 10-meter platform. So that's some glory to us as well. That's pretty good news actually, because yeah, Tom Daly and Matthew Lee did so amazing. Tom Daly at least ended his long wait for an Olympic gold medal with a sublime display alongside Matthew Lee, and it was so nerve filling. It was so nerve rattling, I would say. But at the end of the day, at the 10 meters platform event in Tokyo, they were able to actually win us the gold medal. So that's amazing. Everybody was super excited because the British pair actually did amazing, but they had really good competition because I think it was I can't remember who it was, but they had super amazing competition as well. But they really did come through, and the British pair, Tom Daly and Matthew Lee, did win England a gold medal in men's synchronized 10-meter platform, which is amazing, which just makes everybody happy. And on top of that, we also have Tom Pidcock. As you know, Great Britain's Tom Pidcock actually takes a gold or receives a gold award, a gold medal for mountain biking, and Tom Pidcock won Great Britain's third Olympic gold on Monday with a hugely impressive and dominant performance in the men's mountain bike cross country race in Tokyo. He's only 21 years old, if I'm not mistaken. That's amazing. Being 21 and being able to get yourself a gold medal at the Olympics is absolutely amazing, and he just makes us, the English people, so proud. He's just 21, like I told you, and he's from Leeds. And yeah, and it's amazing that he was able to win our country a gold medal for mountain biking. So that's a little update on what's happening with the Olympics. I do have a lot more that I've been talking to you about. That's just a rundown of the most interesting things that happened recently with regards to the 2020 Olympics. With that being said, I also want to remind you that we do have a lot of interesting things happening here at Relax Radio, and we want you to be a part of the show. We want you to call us, let us know what's going on. And earlier on, I was talking to you about how Mondays can be a little tough, okay? I'm going to end this segment, but before I do, I want to remind you that at the end of the day, it can be hard getting back into Mondays. It can be hard to have a productive, happy Monday, especially after 2 long days of just chilling and doing nothing. But at the end of the day, you need to do whatever it takes to energize your Mondays. And I spoke of a few things that you can do, and I think the first thing that you need to do is to start at home. This is something that I've started to do almost like a prayer, and that I've always thought this breakfast as an energizer is quite a myth, but it's actually not. Okay, you gotta start at home if you want to have a productive Monday. Have yourself a good breakfast, okay, a good healthy hearty breakfast, and start at home. Prep your meals, maybe lay it out the night before, and yeah, have yourself a good breakfast to have a productive Sunday. Organize your space, and I think you need to, one thing that you need to do if you want to have a productive Monday, I think the most important thing that you can do, apart from having a good hearty breakfast, is also to have like a do not disturb segment, especially on Monday. I don't know about you, but when I wake up on Monday morning, I am super cranky, and it takes me a while to adjust back into the work week. And one thing that can definitely help you is, instead of waking up and straight up looking at your phone and scrolling through Twitter, or just going through your social media and replying to your emails, one thing that you can do instead of all that is to just take some time for yourself. Put on your do not disturb, have a good breakfast, go outside, peep out your window if you don't have a balcony or something like that, and have a good nice coffee, have a good breakfast, and that will definitely help you to be as productive as possible on a Monday. Preview your week, that can definitely help, and believe in good vibes. Okay, this is something that I've told you endlessly. It's so important that you understand that energy matters. Okay, if you put out positive energy, you're definitely going to get positivity in your life. So remember that words have power. Use your words wisely, use your actions wisely, so that you attract only positive energy. With that being said, I want to remind you also to make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio, because we are talking about a lot of interesting things, and I definitely want you to be a part of the show. So go ahead, call me up, be a part of the show, let me know what's going on. I am going to be back in a couple minutes, but till then, have a good day ahead.